Warning, the following episode of Boots on the Ground contains mature language. View at your own discretion. In 3, 2, 1. It is September 21st, 2013, and this is Ground episode. My name is Gimbal B, and I'm your host for tonight. And joining me for here is Blaze. How's it going, Blaze?
What's up? It's been a long time. That's all I gotta say.
It has been a long time. This is like the third show I've done in 2 months. But we're back on a weekly schedule because I've finished moving, as you can see by this room that looks exactly like every other room I've been in. But yeah, it's good to be back. And speaking of people we haven't seen in a while, over here we have Hans Jägerblitzen. How's it going, Hans?
Going good.
Joining us for the first and possibly last time is JW. How's it going, JW?
Doing alright.
You feeling good today?
Yeah. Just playing Grand Theft Auto.
You can't say that, it's a dust show.
I think we're all playing Grand Theft Auto.
I'm sure Blaze
I'm playing
is...
it now, right now.
Yeah, I knew it.
I'm not playing Grand Theft Auto.
I'm running over people as we speak.
I'm running from a 4.0 or 4-star cop grade, so.
Okay. And
okay.
joining me is one of the other people not playing GTA 5 right now. We have Quickgloves over there. He's the laundry basket.
Nah, he's playing Diablo.
No. You
Yeah,
can't
don't
prove
lie.
that.
How's it going,
Mandy
Quick
is
Gloves?
playing Diablo. What's up, guys? Glad to be back.
Cool. So, we kind of talked about loads of stuff last week, which means there isn't that much to talk about this week. So we're just going to jump right into it. The patch 1.5, I guess you could say update that happened yesterday or the day before. Thinking it was yesterday when Saberwing dropped the bomb on
it
us.
was 3 days ago.
It was, yeah, it's been a few days now.
Oh, right.
What you been doing, sleeping?
Yes.
Nah, he's been playing GTA 5.
Again with the plug. Needless plug.
So that game's already made like $1 billion.
Oh,
Doesn't
hell
need
yeah.
any more exposure.
I believe it. I believe it.
Oh, but yeah, Saberwing accidentally, or I don't really know, he kind of like said, oh, this vehicle patch isn't actually going to be a vehicle patch.
No, it wasn't accidental. That was intentional.
Okay.
They were announcing that yeah, it's not happening on 1.5.
Okay. I figured it would be like a proper announcement though. For the
Well,
first.
yeah,
I
that's
think
something
you
we're always
said it
working
a
on
bit too
coaching them.
early.
Sorry, JW?
I think you said it a bit too early because Logibro was gonna make a post about it later on. I think.
Oh, I just got some really cool intel. I'm all excited. But
See,
you
I
guys
was
wouldn't
actually
care
looking
because you're playing
forward to it,
GTA.
but now I'm not. What? No. Well, now I am. Yeah.
But yeah, so we're not getting new weapons and we're not getting new vehicles. We are getting some other stuff. I actually have the thread up. We actually are getting. So, things that are actually coming in 1.5 that are confirmed. Squad Finder. I'm not entirely sure how that's going to work, but we're getting it. Corp rolls. I know Denny is very, very happy about that. New Warpoint rewards, which I think everybody is happy about. And we're getting tutorials.
Those are my favorite.
4-point rewards. Do you mean like we're actually going to get points for using the scanners?
I
Yep.
hope. Half my
Exactly. Yep.
Scanners, destroying equipment, the other one like defensive hacking. So if a point gets
De-hacking
hacked and
something.
you dehack it, yeah.
Wow, finally?
Yep.
Nice.
All that good stuff. Yeah, that's my favorite feature. The new of 1.5 is probably the warpoint reward.
That took
Scanning
way
thing-
too long to add.
Yeah, the scanning thing is going to be a big deal because there's going to be a lot of guys that are going to be all over that. I feel like it's going to go back to closed beta when those guys were just repping tanks behind a red line, but who knows? We'll see how it works out. Orbitals are going to be
It's
a dime a dozen. I bet.
it's not quite that simple. Let's put it that way.
Well,
It's
that's
not-
good.
It's
That's
not
good.
You
just
can
like
scan them and then they get a kill,
scan
right?
and get points.
I
Yeah,
hope
it's
there's
not-
some depth to it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, what was the other one? Headshots. Gonna be the other one, apparently.
Did they get rid of that stupid sound?
I know. What is that? Who wants to break glass when you shoot somebody in the face? Make it better.
The breaking glass has to do with hitting shields, not
Yeah.
armor. It's
Yeah.
not a headshot.
Well,
So.
I'm not talking about that sound. I'm talking
That's-
about how everything goes quiet when you hit them in the head.
You're talking about the clang.
That's what
Yeah.
it sounds like every time I shoot somebody in the face. Like I just kick the glass window in.
It's the sound of you being awesome. You should just
I know.
shut up and enjoy it.
Actually, that's the chicken dance. Don't get it fucked
Oh.
up.
Oh,
So
and there
that's
was
at
one
least
more.
a good sign.
There's one more, and I can't remember what it is now. Oh,
There's-
vehicles are getting something, aren't they?
There's new player stuff. Like there's a new series of walkthroughs that show you how to get set up and get fitted and get into matches and all that.
Nice.
I
So
feel
is
there's going to be a bunch
the
of other
train-
stuff as well.
the Battle Academy still so many war points and you're out? They're not updating that at all?
They might adjust it. I mean,
Let's
the
hope.
the constant, like, they've been constantly tweaking it to gather data in order to, like, arrive at the final thing. So
How many of you
They're-
guys have actually played through the Battle Academy, or did you just farm through your friends?
I've, like, rolled a bunch of characters and ran through using
Yeah,
various
so-
weapons.
That's what I did. Now, did you have the issue where you only played ambush maps?
It started as ambush, then it became domination.
Yeah, see, I only ever got ambush maps. But I wound up with like a 9.0 KDR through it all, so it was alright.
Yeah.
Thanks, sweetie.
But that's what they're doing. They're going through, they're gathering data, they're seeing where people drop off under what circumstances, and then they'll use that data to sort of arrive at the final solution.
Don't say the final solution.
That's yeah, okay, fine. Bad words.
Because this technically
terminology.
is still a beta game. Oops.
Whatever. So
Yeah.
we're getting a bunch of stuff from 1.5. I mean, Quickgloves, you mentioned orbitals being a lot more common because of the warpoint rewards. Kind of wondering if they're going to be adjusting that. Have you heard anything about that, Hans?
I have not heard particular news along that front, no. But it's something we'll discuss with them for sure.
When is I've heard threatened, or I should say I've heard threats or people threatening that they're going to remove the MCC orbital strikes and that you have to have ships in the area to drop them. Is that a confirmed rumor, or is that just he said, she said, and then we all got drunk and talked about it?
No, there's nothing confirming at this point.
Cool.
I heard that was the plan at one point, but
We've discussed it. I'll say that much. Like, we've certainly, the CPM and True Grit have sat around and like discussed this issue about where NPC strikes belong with regards to faction warfare and PC, and there's differing opinions depending
I
on.
thought the CPM just
scenario.
sat around and got drunk with CCP.
Nah.
You guys are lucky.
Maybe to you, Quickgloves, just your opinion.
So what do you guys think? Do
Fantasy world.
you like NPC strikes? Do you think it makes more sense to?
Yeah, I do. I
Yeah.
think having the NPC strikes is the only viable way that smaller corps are going to actually be able to do anything. Because you know how many dust corps are that have no Eve at all presence? It would take so much away from the little guys. It really would. I would leave it in there. I mean, what's the biggest difference? You get a disco strike that's pum pum pum, then you get a disco strike that is colorful. That's the only real difference in my opinion. But I would leave the NPC strikes.
It also depends on how many turrets are on the Eve ship, doesn't it? Because, I mean, Kane came in with the scout ship and only did like 2 beams, compared to where the orbital strike, I think, drops like 5.
Yeah, if you have like all the different ammos
Kane
and
is
stuff with the
terrible,
different
apparently,
ships. Yeah.
Orbital
If you
strikes.
use certain ships, like
So
real
I
quick
get
tip to
completely
all
wrong.
you guys out there, if you're listening, if you want to do orbital strikes, the Amar ships, the Corsair with multi-frequency laser, that's like the best ammo to go out into PC matches with because it's a massive widespread damage attack that hits all the little guys running around on foot, and it also will damage your vehicles. You might not kill a pretty good tanker, but you'll make him run real quick. That's the best one that I've used, and I mean I've sent a lot of different ships into Molten Heath with all kinds of different loadouts, and I've come to really, really appreciate the Corsair with all its guns, just stack gyros and speed.
I mean the Corsair, right?
Yeah, I'm Spanish. You're white. It's all good.
I don't know, I think the Cormorant gives it a run for its money, but
I know a lot of guys like the hell is it? The Galente one. Looks like
Catalysts are
long.
terrible.
Yeah, Catalyst. That's what a lot of people use.
They're good because you can fit 8 guns on them, but aside from that, I don't know. I just prefer the Cormorant. You can
How
I
fit
many
think,
a
you
lot
can
pirates?
more
only,
health
I
on
think
it.
you can only do 7 on the Catalyst.
Hans, do you run orbitals for your guys?
Occasionally, I've usually used a Catalyst.
And what about you, Gimbit?
I used the Ferox when I was doing it, so
Did you ever get
Fair
like
accent,
pirates in the
was it?
area?
Hmm?
You ever see pirates up there? Like like other corps that are just trying to hawk kills?
I only really did it back in the Orion
Wow.
days. That was a long time ago. But
Okay.
I mostly just flew the Ferox because I knew it would destroy other like orbital bombardment ships that I met. And you know, it doesn't get a damage bonus to its guns anyway, so I'll use the small blasters on it.
You and your Eve tarts.
Yeah.
Well, I think, I don't know, I don't have like the specifics in front of me, but I know they've sort of vaguely hinted publicly that they're wanting to move away from, just a war point based system, for how orbitals are called down to begin with. And there's a lot of, talk about UI and that sort of thing. And I think there's just a general interest in streamlining that system to make it easier for like casual faction warfare players that are just flying through the area to see where the battles are, to join up and drop orbitals for people without having to be this thing that you have to sort of like totally 100% set up beforehand.
I saw Dotland finally got all the districts and everything on there.
That's
so
super
there's-
exciting, yeah.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. I saw it last night. One of the guys on the Sever Facebook page is like, "We're number 2!" And I was like, "Oh, cool." So I went and looked at it, and that's really cool. That's another way, if you play Eve or whatever, you want to check out what's going on the Dust side and see how politics works over there. Definitely not as in-depth as Eve is, but it's still fun to kind of watch the little infant that is Dust grow every day, and the people that are involved with it, all the hard work they're putting in. So the guys at Dotland, thumbs up and good job.
Yeah. There's been a bunch of websites popping up as well. There's one called, I think it's Eve Eye or something. Has like
Well, a lot of
maps
this
and
is
stuff.
because we're finally getting crest data rolled out, and that's really encouraging.
I saw it for the first time ever. I went into the GameStop I used to work at, and I walked up to the counter. I started talking to my buddy, and I heard the music from Dust playing. I turned around, looked at the computer where they have like the videos of all different games, whatever, and they were playing Dust. I was like, "Oh, that's so cool!" That's
They're
the first
playing
time
Dust
I've
in a
seen it.
GameStop.
Yeah, it was neat,
That's
dude.
cool.
Yeah, it was. I was really, really impressed with it. I thought it was really neat. I then went to tell him, I was like, "You should check out the leaderboards. I'm on there." That was pretty cool.
Shameless.
I was.
Yeah, but anybody can be on the leaderboards.
Okay, whatever, bud. Wait,
I'm on the leaderboards too. I don't think I'm anywhere noticeable, but I'm there.
I think my mic's about to die. Let me find a way to plug it in.
I'm just saying, anybody. You could just pick up a sniper, sit in your red line, and become the top leaderboard for KDR. I mean, it's easy to get on that.
No, I'm talking about the corpse side stuff. I could care less where my actual name sits. All I care about is the Sever name and public disorder. Let me plug my mic in. I'll be right back, guys.
Yeah.
So, I mean, wrapping up on 1.5, is there anything else anyone wants to mention? Like, does
I
anyone
think
actually
it's-
know what Squad Finder will do?
No.
It's gonna be a lot like Fleet Finder for Eve. I mean, you'll be able to say, "We've got a squad. We're doing this." You could maybe might be able to have some kind of a block list or something like that. I don't know.
So you're not going to see LFS or Room for Numbers and ambush only type guys posting in channels anymore?
I don't know that it'll make that obsolete. I haven't seen and played with this myself, but
It'd be cool if there was a way that you could select a channel you're in. You have a squad open to people and just go, like, post squads thing in this channel, and people could join from that. So, like LFS, but, like, automated.
yeah. That's
I'm
certainly
looking forward to
the
seeing
goal.
what it does.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it'll be nice to get another new update. I don't want to push CCP into making a bunch of like. I know a lot of people are like, oh, we want new content every month, blah blah blah. I don't really like that theory because for me, I feel like they're just going to be rushing through stuff and they're just going to give you something to let you gnaw on until they can figure out
break the
something
game.
big. Yeah.
I
In
just
my
want
opinion,
good gameplay. I
yeah.
don't care about
would love,
content.
I would love if I didn't get another update for 6 months and they just fixed all the things that were wrong with the game right now.
That would
Well,
be nice.
that's good because it's more or less what you're gonna get.
Well, fantastic. You'll have your diehard players like me and the guys I roll with forever. I mean, Dust, in my opinion, Dust is not that bad of a game. It just has some major tweaking. It's a young game, it's a new game, but it's an online massive, massive
16
in-depth,
versus
like,
16.
no, the fact that it's 16 versus 16 isn't the big deal. Look at all of the actual things that they're offering you. You can own land. You can fight for land. You control massive amounts of corporations. Guys are fighting in big wars where the FEC versus Eon, you're fighting 60-some PC battles a day. These guys are just putting in a lot of time. Those servers are getting slammed for dedication to private battles. Think about that. How many servers have to be shut down and put aside for Planetary Conquest? All right, that means all of the IT work those guys need to do to make sure those servers stay stable, which we all know there's a lot of issues. You know, they need to get that completely fixed, and then PC would be a lot better. But that's not the main focus of the game right now because the game's still so young and still so general. When it comes down to it, when the full integration is done, yeah, they need to fix PC so that to the point that it actually runs clean. There's not so many issues with the lag spikes, the separation on servers. You're not going to have people dropping out when they're trying to load onto the war barge. That type of stuff happens in a game like this, where you're connecting people from all over the world into one select server. I mean, if I live in the east coast of the USA and I'm playing Nyan Sun, all of their, early morning Asian server guys, we're going to get some random server probably in the middle. So now we're all struggling to connect strong to that server. They need to figure out a way that I don't even know how they could do it with server shards like that and dedicating so much strength.
Probably
I
something
mean,
involving quantum physics.
Yeah,
and
I really don't
big data
understand
to
how they
physically
would
travel
do it.
faster on the planet.
It's something that I would want. That's all. If we could go through PC with a clean fight, no jumping around where you see Ariana doing backflips and melee glitching to death, or you're going into a fight where there's mass drivers going off that were fired 10 minutes ago, and now all of a sudden you're respawning. That would be nice, but it's not every fight. There are good fights when guys get put on the same servers and it's a good time. Like, not a lot of traffic, but in my opinion, if the game is ever going to go full bore integration with EVE, which is the end goal, and we're going to be fighting in nullsec and helping big alliances do whatever they want to do, if it ever gets there, the PC system now is a good blueprint, in my opinion. I think they did a good job releasing something to give us the availability that you have in EVE to build your sandcastle and then kick somebody else's down.
That being said, I think one of the feedback that I've heard a lot as a CPM member from a lot of people, a lot of different circles, is there seems to be a very overwhelming sentiment that people are more interested in doing services for EVE players as sort of an end game, as opposed to this like owning space sort of concept. Like, I think the idea of here's some land and if you park on it and sit on it long enough, you'll get some money is a very like EVE oriented mindset that I think was CCP's starting point with Planetary Conquest. But what I hear from a lot of players these days is like, we don't really care about the land, we don't really care about making a ton of money, we just want to be like doing something practical. We want to be like taking over somebody's battle station or shutting off their planetary interaction resource, or like we just want to be doing something that has an effect on the EVE universe as opposed to just here's some land and some money. Because in the end, there's not a ton of stuff to spend all this money on. Like, once you get to a point where you can afford proto gear, you can have all the money in the world beyond that, and it doesn't make you a better Dust player. So I think in the long run, CCP is going to have to look for some stuff that people can do for EVE players as opposed to just here's land and money. Because I know a lot of people are feeling kind of unfulfilled by, well, great, we've got some districts and we were making some money, but like, it doesn't excite as many people.
They
as...
want that mercenary feature where you hire
Exactly.
us to complete a contract, and that's that. Yeah, I get that. I've heard people talk about that too, but they've referred to it kind of as being the only pirate faction. You know, you're going out there just to take a contract with no loyalties, no ties. But yeah, I'm sure there's probably a large following or a large group of people that actually agree with that statement. Just my personal was, as I stated, I like the fact that it follows the Eve side because I do like Eve and I do play Eve. The fact that there's other people that want the other side just shows that this game could have a lot of depth if CCP goes about it, you know, the right way. It's up to them what they do.
I just want to say, going back to the way they're doing updates right now, I feel like doing like 1.0 to 1.4, that was the way it needed to be done, just because there were so many issues on release. And things like hit detection actually works properly now, and guns don't stop firing beyond like 20 meters and stuff like that. That needed to get fixed straight away, pretty much. So I'm glad that they were doing monthly cycles for the first 4 updates at least.
I kind of agree with you, but at the same time, I don't think they should have released the game without it being, you know, at least a little bit up to par. Like in my eyes, this game's still a beta game.
No, I don't think that's an unfair assessment either. I think there's some of you guys have heard me on this spiel before, but I might as well say it briefly again. I think there's this like unhealthy preoccupation with whether the game is beta or whether it's released, and that the game is going to be in this kind of state where it's being constantly worked on and adjusted for years and years and years to come. There's never going to be a point at which it magically feels like all the stuff that should be in dust is in dust, and there's never going to be a point where it feels like everything is perfect or complete. And so, you know, you can't call it beta for years and years and years, because that's not fair if there's an actual game that lots of people are playing and participating in, but you can't call it like... I mean, you're right. To call it fully released doesn't seem to be appropriate either, because there's still a lot that's still being worked on. But I think that's just something the community is going to have to come to grips with and realize that you're either on board with the way they're doing this and willing to be patient and you know, put time playing in and put time giving feedback on the forums, and you wait it out. Yeah, or it's just not for you and it's not developing fast enough and you go play another game. And that both of are fine, but like this obsession over whether it's beta, whether it's released, I don't think it's really that relevant, because this is just how it's going to be, and it doesn't really fit into either category particularly well.
Okay, well, we haven't got Quickgloves and JW here for that much longer, so I'm gonna move on to the next topic because I think we're done with 1.5. I just want to get some thoughts on 1.4. Like, how are people finding the patch now that the bugs have been fixed, for the most part?
It's alright.
I like it.
I don't like the swarm change. Now as a tank, people with proto swarms can shoot at me and I'm already at 1,000 armor before I even got all my modules activated.
Yeah, but in the swarm's defense, because I'm a partial swarm user, they took away how much you can shoot at a time. Because I've only got 3 versus 5.
Well, you only need 3, to be honest.
No, well, not if you're going up against a good tanker. I'm not saying that you're not a good tanker. I'm just saying, like, a good tanker will be able to survive all 3 volleys.
Yeah, but it will be very, very weak. Only one guy needs to come around with an AV nade or something, and I'm fucked.
In my opinion, the tanks shouldn't be able to drive into an infantry fight and just blast their way through it. A tank should be, even a blaster tank, should have at least the range to fight the fight, but you shouldn't be strong enough to just drive straight up into it, get your teeth all up in it, and then just drive out the other side. It shouldn't be that way. If you get into an infantry fight in a tank, you should, yes, be able to do your damage, but if anybody in that group is carrying like a proto HMG, they should at least be able to tack you up. Maybe not do damage that your rep cycle can't take care of, but in my opinion, the tanks aren't that bad right now. I think we've all seen the super tanks from back in the beta where we all dreaded them. When you saw them on the field, you would just kind of run and hide, to the paper tanks that you saw a couple patches ago that people just stopped playing just because of that. When the respec came, they spec'd out of tanks. Now I think they're pretty balanced. I don't really want to see a lot of tweaking with the vehicles. I think that as it stands now, they're still viable in PC. They're still viable in pub matches. You can still do very well in them, and they're not ruining the game. There's
I
other
want them
things.
to bring back destroyer tanks.
I definitely think again, this is just my opinion, and I state this as purely an infantry player. I've never driven a tank, I'd never go into the tanks in the game. You might catch me in an LAV once in a while, but in my opinion as an infantry guy, there's far more things that I feel need to be fixed or worked on as compared to the current standings of vehicles in the game. I think they actually have hit a pretty good medium that everybody should be satisfied with for the time being, and they should focus on kind of general things that need to be worked on instead of focusing on either the infantry side or the vehicle side. That's just, again, my opinion as just an infantry player.
JW, what do you think in regards to that?
I was not paying attention. I'm sorry. I just got called by somebody in Grand Theft Auto.
Okay. He was basically saying that tanks are fine, learn to play.
Nah, not really. The problem with tanks is like the armored tank. There's like one fit rules them all. You cannot change anything, and you'll be just killed by the one fit. Shield tanks are completely useless against that one special fit. It's just retarded. And we don't even have prototype vehicles against prototype anti-vehicle.
I mean, speaking as a guy who I do PC, a fair amount of PC. I haven't been doing it as much recently because people haven't been attacking us times that I've been awake. So whenever I see tanks, it's mostly in pub matches. And I've noticed that if they did put better tanks into the game, they would need to do something about limiting them in pub matches.
Yeah.
Right now, like playing on Europe and ambush, it's like people drop 2 to 4 tanks. That's ambush a lot of the time. Just can't do anything against that.
Yeah, in pubs they're alright, but when you're like really playing PC against prototype AV, it's not doable anymore.
But I feel like they've dug themselves into this hole where they have to either remove vehicles in general or just tanks from ambush and domination. I don't know.
I would be fine with an ambush without vehicles.
Shame Hans went AFK. I'd love to get his thoughts on that, but
That's what ambush should have been, though, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It should have been like an infantry-only battle. But nope.
Quickgloves, your infantry. Would you agree with that?
I prayed countless nights for infantry-only ambush matches. But alas, I was forsaken.
Actually, saying that, Sever are people who drop tanks all the time in ambush matches as well.
Technically, that's a closed beta stereotype, and it was our job to break the game, and we definitely broke the game.
Dude, that happened today. Like this morning.
Kane put something on. I was talking to some people the other night. Kane put something on. He goes, it was New Eden's Most Wanted. He said, he goes, damn, you guys got some good tanks in Sever. And Kane's like, don't you know STB also stands for Sever Tank Buddies or something? I busted out laughing. I was like, dude, do you know like how many of my tankers quit when the game went from was it 2 patches ago when they became paper tanks? They just folded to everything. You could like one grenade them and they'd be done. I think it was like 2 patches ago.
It was 2.
Half my tankers when they got their respec off, like they all just respec'd out. And I wound up actually having, if you see the you see the forums in the last 2 weeks, I've been on a huge recruitment for tank drivers because I don't have as many as I used to. I don't even have like obviously, if you played in the closed beta, you might remember Lurchosaurus. He was a really good tank driver. He doesn't play, barely at all anymore. I see him in a blue moon. He plays World of Tanks because he was a tank driver. That's where he went.
Wait,
Ted
who?
Nugent, Lurchosaurus.
Oh,
Ted Nugent is another one of our closed beta real big tankers. He went shield tank and then just became miserable with what they did. So
Big mistake. Yeah.
yeah, he pretty much just quit. Or he didn't quit, I should say. He's got some good fits that he does really well in. He still drops 50-some kills in pub matches, but when you put him into a PC, the only thing he's very like that you can use his tank for, because shield tanking is broke. Well, not broke, but it's weaker than armor tanking. The only thing you can really do with the shield tanking is railgun snipe and hope for the best. So he does that. He has his
And
his
an armor
role that
tank would still beat a shield tank in a railgun fight.
Yeah. I believe that all tanks should armor fit themselves. If you're going to shield tank, there should be a reason behind it. Just like the shield LAV, there's a reason behind that, because you can rep the infantry around you. Or if you're a shield tank, have a mobile CRU or a supply depot on the tank, something like that, just to make it a reason that you went shield light and fast instead of armor for power and vitality. But it's the way that everybody thinks Sever's all these tankers, and we're really not. I actually just went out and got Charlotte Odell. I just went out and got Pancake something. I don't even know his name. I just went out and recruited all these tankers off the forums just because the guys I did have either quit, moved on, or just got tired of their tanks being basically ran down for the sole purpose of people know they can kill them now. And don't get me wrong, as I said, tanks are a lot better now, but they still have some issues. I just don't think that it's a game changer like the other issues that I believe in.
Yeah, if you need a tanker, you can just hit me up on Skype or something.
Cool. I got a couple fights tonight and tomorrow. I'll add you right now. Look at that. Sever's getting ringers. Don't tell anybody that Sever hires ringers.
Well,
Nobody
no
knows
free
yet.
pass will help you win.
Fantastic.
yeah, because you don't already
so
get help from team players.
I don't know what you're speaking of. I don't know. This is some sort of collusion. By the way, I think we all owe you a congratulations. Am I right, guys? JW and No Free Pass deserve a round of applause and congratulations on the tournament. Is that a thumbs up thing? You guys
No.
did well. You know?
Somebody play the effect.
Somebody play the effect. I don't know how to do
I'm
it.
not touching
I
it.
can't even get my
told
micro
you,
or my
I'm not doing
camera
it.
on here.
Where's Harris?
There it is! Woohoo!
Hey.
Good job.
Yay!
Good job, you guys. Good
We
job.
all saw what happened last time I touched them. It caused a big problem. I'm not doing that again.
I don't even know how to get my camera on, let alone play with. I couldn't even change my picture. For 45 minutes I tried.
Yeah, it took you a long time. You still didn't get it. That's Quickgloves for you, everybody.
Woohoo!
Okay, so more 1.4 things outside of vehicles. I guess the other big change was armor. Well, one of the other big changes. How are you finding armor tanking
I
these
want to
days?
post these. Is there a way for me to post pictures in this? Oh no, you can't probably link them, can you? I actually I've been going through pub matches and finding people that Galente Logi or just massive amounts of armor guys. And there's fits out there right now that give guys like 1,600 total life with reps. And it's ridiculous. You'll be shooting these guys, their shields, they'll go away. You know, they don't melt right away, but you shoot at them, they start to take damage. You get their armor down to like half or three-quarters and it just stops. And you're like, what is going on? You think you're lagging out, and then they just start repping. The armor fits, if you know how to do it, are ridiculous.
I know you can get a Caldari Logi up to 1,200 HP and still have pretty good armor reps on there.
Yeah, even with the PG and CPU nerfs, you can still super fit that suit. I think the Logi suits are definitely, they were meant to be used for the equipment, but I think all of us just kind of figured out how to stack them and use them for whatever we wanted. But I know I use a Cal Logi, and I know a lot of my guys that use the Galente Logi are loving it right now. I actually just spent all the skill points to go armor just because of the serious difference that I saw while fighting other people.
Yeah, even the Galente Scout suit, I think it was something like you can get 750 armor on it.
That's ridiculous.
Wow.
I mean, a scout suit, how slow is he though?
Not that slow, because the movement penalties have a stacking penalty on
Yeah.
them. So the more you
And
have, the less you actually get affected by that.
Shoot. And you could even use those Ferris scale ones if you're, really worried about the movement penalty.
Yeah, but the thing about the Galente Scout is it has a really low profile, which, because of the new scanner changes, and we'll get to this in a minute, you're invisible. Like, you don't have to go fast, because nobody can
Yeah.
see you.
Here's a serious question. I don't care if you giggle, but I really think that it's a real thing. If you have your signature dampening or your profile dampening skilled up, like wicked high, I feel like guys that have that are a lot harder to shoot when you actually see them. I feel like the bullets don't register on the halo around their body, the hit zones. Do you guys think that? Any of you guys ever had that issue, or I'm
No,
just
I've
terrible?
never
shot?
I don't think mechanically that's taking place. Like
Okay.
I'm almost certain, because there was this argument when about scouts and sprinting and about it affecting their hitbox or whatever.
Yep.
And people were thinking that the collision box was the same as the hitbox, and the hitbox is its own unique special snowflake separate category from most of the other mechanics. Is my understanding from talking with the devs. So I don't think that is actually taking place. It might just feel that way.
I mean, it's probably just that the Scouts have such a small hitbox compared to the other classes.
I think that's the more likely scenario. Yeah.
Also, does that affect auto-aim? Well,
Are you guys using auto aim? Because if you are, I'm leaving the channel.
no, I don't use it.
No, I don't use it.
I use
I've had a
mouse
lot
and
of
keyboard.
people. Yeah, there you go. I've had a lot of people talk about how much they like it, and I kind of laugh because a lot of them are like, "Dude, my KDR is going way up," and I'm like, "Well, that should tell you something." So
Well, that's also what's hilarious about it, though, is that the people that are crying about it are the ones that are somehow feeling threatened by
yeah.
noobs that have gotten slightly better with their kill to death ratio, which
I'll
I don't
tell
really
you what.
consider to be a threat, but
Wow.
everyone's
Makes the game
freaking out
better.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Makes the game better. In my opinion, thumbs up, good job. Auto aim made the game more competitive. Don't get me wrong, it's annoying when you go up against No Name Corps in PC and they actually make you field a good team and you want to be lazy and just throw together a ragtag crew, but hey, good job. The noobs will actually stand a chance. It's competitive, more fun. More kills, more bullets. Good job all around.
It wasn't just that, hit detection got way better as well.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Bullets hit things now. Great.
We're not shooting blanks anymore?
It's going to get better too. There's a couple other major underlying bugs that they've squashed recently.
Oh,
What's
God.
going on with that melee glitch? That's all taken care of now? Where you
It's
sprint
being
and-
fixed in 1.5.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask, because I saw a video of it the other night of somebody doing work. I couldn't believe how effective it was.
Yeah, I did it.
Oh.
That might have been my video. I did a video of it because I just wanted to see how much damage it did, and I was like, oh, a lot of damage.
Nice.
Even without melee damage mods. Actually, here's the thing: melee is still really viable. Even if you get rid of it, because people are experimenting with melee damage mods, which are insane.
Oh my god, dude, the Nova Knivers I got guys that are running scout suits in PC with Nova Knives, and they're ridiculous. You know how sometimes if you're on a 5-point map, you'll send somebody just to annoy their home letter? Well, I've been sending guys with the Nova Knives who get there in a flash, because they're so quick to begin with. And the Nova Knives, you don't see them show up on the radar. Next thing you know, they're one-shotting you with the Ishinook Nova Knives, and they're like, oh, capping the letter. It's ridiculous the amount of DPS they can put out with them stupid knives.
Oh man, melee's even more ridiculous. Nobody's been trying this aside from Eden, and this is you can get. I think it's a Cal Logi suit probably because it has 5 highs and 4 lows, everything. You put 5 melee damage mods in the highs, you do 600 plus damage per swing.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Now that's
crazy.
if you get close to them without getting your head blown off. Now the auto aim's there.
I guess, but you have 4 lows to dampen and
Yeah.
feed and everything. So
I wonder if I'm gonna have to call the Andy Oakley brothers, Andy and Calamity, and see if they've tweaked with it at all, because they're pretty good about all that.
yeah, it's crazy. I'm really seriously thinking melee is gonna get nerfed.
I see that laser rifles are starting to make an appearance again. I'm glad that's happening. It's nice to see them
Yes.
shooting across the field sometimes.
I'm sorry. I'm so happy about that. I've been a laser rifle user since they came out, and yep, I'm proud they're making their comeback. Sort of.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're definitely. Now I'm wondering if they're all glass cannon loadouts that I see, because I never really get close enough to really put a lot of DPS on them. They either get killed or they kill me before I get anywhere near where I need to be to kill them. But with if you're a laser rifle now, are you proto lasered out?
yeah.
Now you run like your proto suit and everything, your full proto gear.
Yep.
So like, what are you looking at for CPU and health and all that? Are you still viable? Like, can you get in a gunfight? And knowing that you only have a laser rifle, I mean, if you run Kalaji, you only got one gun.
Well, if I run Caldari Logi, I've also got REs set up around me, so if you ever do get close enough to me, I'll know. And I've got a scanner too, so.
There you go. So you have it set up to actually fight from a distance and pay attention to your surroundings.
Yep.
So a guy like me who just runs in willy-nilly, spraying everything in the way, would not do well with a laser rifle.
No. Yeah,
No,
laser rifles got a drop off, or like it doesn't do crap underneath 50 yards, or 50
Yeah.
meters. Anything below that, and you're not going to do that much damage. You can still get a little bit of it off, but the effective range is anywhere between 50 to 87. And
Now, how do you
if
fare
go-
against them Cartham scrambler rifles? Am I cutting somebody off? I feel like somebody's trying to get some words in.
Oh no, I was about to ask. You said the remote explosives. You'll know when somebody's coming up. Are those actually giving visibility right now?
No, I've got
okay.
a scanner in my precision and all that, Max. So.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay, gotcha. All right.
So when you're fighting those scrambler rifles, are you faring well as a laser user against the scrambler rifles? I mean, would you, if you had to choose an AR to fight, a laser rifle to fight, or a scrambler rifle to fight? In my opinion, I'd rather fight an AR all day, because the laser rifles just melt me, and the scrambler rifles seem to just shoot so fast that I just take too much damage and die. But as a laser user, I mean, where do you stand? Do you rather fight ARs still? Are they still the weakest at all the rifle bunches?
I'd say scramblers just because I armor stack. Because I mean, shields are very easy to break.
So you're still trying. You're primarying that glass cannon loadout where you're stacking the damage mods and then you just go armor.
I don't even use damage mods yet. I haven't tried it out.
Oh, dude, back in the day, oh my god, those laser rifle users used to stack the complex damage mods. They'd be
That's what
glass
I did.
cannons. Yeah,
Yeah,
don't get me wrong, they could only take a couple rounds, but they would get up high, and dude, the whole field would burn.
Yeah, I never did that because I always just kept hearing about, oh, they're going to nerf damage mods. So when they did, people weren't going to be used to it, and they're going to be complaining so much. So I just played normal.
Instead, they just
without
nerfed the gun.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they nerfed the gun, and I'm like, crap! I expect into this for no reason.
Yeah, one of our best players in PC, Marston VC, he's not as active now, but he was one of the guys that got us to the finals in the tournament when we played. He was a laser rifle user.
That's quite annoying.
He's a fantastic laser rifle guy, but he stopped using them after what patch did they get nerfed on? I don't even remember all the patches.
Rising in general.
Yeah, there you go. When the laser rifles took the big kick to the teeth, he switched to assault rifle, and then he switched to scrambler rifle when the scrambler rifles came out. I just use the assault rifle and mass driver, I won't lie.
I use a scrambler rifle for the most part.
See, I've used the scrambler rifle on my ult, and I've liked it because it has the red dot sight, it's kind of fun, but I was having issues killing heavies with it, and again, I'm assuming it's because they're armor tanked, and the scrambler rifles are good for shields. So now with the big armor buff, I feel like some of those scrambler rifle users might be having a little bit harder of a time, but again, the aim assist came into a system, and there's a lot of other things out there that they might be able to do to adjust to the increase in armor. But those scrambler rifles, for me, because I shield tank, are absolutely devastating.
Oh, see, there's your problem. You shield tank it.
Yeah.
Where shields just are like weak compared to the armor. Like but this is my personal opinion. I'd strictly go armor, just because they're buff and how much you can stack it and whatnot.
It seems like an ongoing theme for CCP is to just kill the guy with shields and buff the guy in armor.
I think, honestly, I think most of this has to do with just incomplete pieces in the lineup across the board. Like, you have inconsistency in, like, you don't have a full pistol lineup, you don't have a full rifle lineup. Yeah, even on certainly with AV weaponry, you don't have a full lineup of racial variants. And I think once they hit that point where there's a damage type for each race and you've got all complete sets, like, I think the whole armor versus shield thing will become a lot less of an issue at that point. And I think where we've seen different setups being sort of dominant in the meta in the meantime, it's because of missing holes, like there's no, heavy laser, there's no, projectile rifle or a railgun rifle at this point. So
Yeah, I imagine when the combat rifle comes in, that's gonna shift people away from armor again, just because it's gonna do submachine gun type damage.
Anybody still running around with the SMGs? I saw a huge drop
I
off.
am.
They used to be so. I mean, in early days of PC, you saw them everywhere. And Ice Slayer still runs them. He does a lot of YouTube videos with the SMGs. He still runs them very heavy. And I like the SMGs. I used to love running around with it when I had, 2 slots when I was running the Mimitar Assault. But now I'm Cal-Logi, so I got one gun and hope to heck that I either die or get ammo. But the SMGs, I mean, they've been so under the radar through the entire game, in my opinion. You never hear anybody really talking about them. And if
it's like all I've seen people use for like the last several months, it seems.
I haven't seen like any of them. I must just be playing people that are, still stuck in their ways. Then
I've been seeing a fit recently, which is 2 submachine guns.
yeah, that's the one
light
Slayer. That's the one Slayer. He's a scout suit with 2 SMGs.
Yeah, and that seems really good. He really does some great work with that. But
Yeah.
really curious. I might try that out at some point.
Because there's what there's the assault submachine gun, and then there's like a burst one. Is that right? The
Burst
Ishinok
and
is-
the breach.
Okay, but the
I don't
Ishinok
think
one
there's
is.
I don't think there's a burst. I think it's just a assault, a standard, and a breach.
Okay.
No,
I'm not sure which one. I think he uses like the Ishinok one, and then if that's not the breach one, he uses one of the standard proto ones, and then the breach one is the secondary. So he'll get in a gunfight at medium range with the standard Ishinok submachine gun. When you get close, he whips out the breach and just destroys you. But
Yeah.
it's a cool loadout. I mean, any of you guys that are out there with scouts and SMGs, or anybody that's an SMG fighter, Sever's recruiting. Ooh, shameless plug.
Wow.
Has anyone here tried pistols recently?
No, I have a bunch of the
I've been using the Scram pistol since Chromosome, pretty much.
I've
Like,
been
are
they
hearing that
lethal?
you can shoot people across the map with them again.
That's great.
I've been running around with Iden a bunch recently. He's been on an alt that has just pistols, and he runs around with 2 pistols, and he does some serious work. They're really good if you know what you're doing with. You can
Do
get
they still
headshot in a
the hit-
fight you
The
win.
aiming and hit detection's gotten better. The Scram pistol's gotten a lot better.
I was about to say, don't they still have that massive bonus to damage when you hit them in the head?
Yeah, you
Yep.
can, like, if you have a burst scramble pistol, you can kill a heavy in 1 shot.
Really? That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Even if they've got over like,
Well, you're
Massive
firing like
amount
a
of
trio of
damage
bullets into
someone
the
already.
head, so. And like heavies have huge hitboxes, really easy.
True.
I don't like the burst though, just because the ammo maintenance is tricky. Like you have what 11 shots, 12 shots, and it's draining 3 each fire. It's basically like you have 3 shots with it. But so I use the assault scrambler pistol myself.
If you have the aim, pull it off. It just seems ridiculously.
And is the Mimitar Scout one the one that adds a bullet to your
Mimitar
gun?
assault.
Assault? Okay,
Yeah,
so the
they
guys
get-
that use that can actually get a little bit extra, right?
Yeah, I've been running with him using a Mimitar assault and have like 10 bullets at the moment I've got per clip,
Nice.
and that goes all the way up to like 13 something.
Yeah.
Just spam bullets at people. A lot of fun. And even if you don't headshot, you still do a lot of damage. The Mimitar assault has 5 highs, so you triple stack damage. Crazy good. actually really curious if like those are gonna become the big uh, thing that's gonna people are demanding be nerfed at some point.
I really want to see
Well,
the
like
end to
there's
nerf
still,
these weapons threads.
there's still new weapons in the pipeline, so there's plenty of opportunity for people to cry.
I
The
really,
next-
really just want to see an end to all the crying. Like, I understand that feedback is important, but go about it the right way. Don't make a QQ thread. There's so many other threads on there that are more important about you whining about a gun.
Well, and the other thing that I think is important for people to understand is that like CCP does not balance based on where the most noise is. Like there is a correlation at times, because if something like the Flaylock is seriously broken, then yeah, there's going to be a lot of complaints, there's going to be a lot of QQ, and it'll be justified. But that what people do is then associate the QQ with it getting fixed, and so now they think, oh well, if I bitch about forge guns a ton, then forge guns are going to be next on the map, and that's not how it works.
Forge
Like,
guns already got nerfed though. That was actually something that got sort of sneaked in on this patch, is that their projectile is a lot slower than it was before. What I've
it
been
does
doing.
feel a little slower,
Yeah,
yeah.
dropships can get out of the way this time. I've done it in PC matches. I've actually avoided 2 or 3 rounds only to get snuck by another, but you can definitely see them coming.
Yeah, so I mean, in general, like, there's people get really like worried that, oh, you know, a bunch of people are bitching about assault rifles, therefore I've got to go out and argue with these idiots that are complaining about assault rifles, because if I win this battle on the forums, then I'll be able to like convince CCP that these guys are complaining about nothing. It's not really that big of an issue. Like, I think they've been able to see they're not basically just purely crowdsourcing. Let's put it that way.
I mean, the one good thing though is we've been talking about all these weapons, and we've all been talking about how strong they are.
Well,
So
that's good.
there's obviously,
want
like,
a system. You want a system where every weapon works and every weapon is good. Like, that's balance, right? Like, it
Yeah.
shouldn't just be that some things don't work. Every weapon should work.
aside from the plasma cannon, which sadly is still not quite where it needs to be.
Says the #1 defender of the plasma cannon. You're like
Hey,
the
man,
plasma cannon's
I
champion,
asked for like
and
one
you're
buff
finally
to the
like a
you're
plasma
finally
cannon.
being
gigantic-
honest about it.
It
I
looks
asked
like
for
a
one
gigantic
buff.
potato gun that shoots green potatoes. Alright? That's what I think that gun is. I've only
It
seen it
looks
used
really
three
awesome when you're getting shot at with it. But the hilarious thing is that because you see it coming a mile away and it's this giant fireball, you just step to the side. It's great. Like, it's the easiest thing to get away from too. But it is visually a really impressive weapon. I just wish it actually killed people.
It has one use, which we discovered recently. That was, it doesn't have a range limit, so you can kill people in the enemy spawn when you jump out of your MCC. Like, you jump out of your MCC, fire a shot, and if you aim it right, you can like hit people on the other side of the map.
Really? Wow.
So if you had like all 16 people jump out of your MCC and fire at the enemy start zone, you might get a kill.
Well,
It
there's
has
that.
range like that?
Yeah, they don't have a range cap. They just go forever.
I don't think mass drivers have a range cap either.
Mass
Yeah, they
drivers
do. The mass driver will explode, like the actual round will blow up, because I've tried.
Okay. All right. I just maybe haven't tried to shoot it far enough.
Just shoot it straight up in the air and it'll blow up.
All right.
It won't come back down and land at your feet.
Okay, I guess shotguns actually work now. That was a bug with patch on release for 1.4, because they weren't hitting anything, but now hit detection is fixed. I was playing with one today, and it works.
Are you finding that the shotgun performs better than it did before 1.4,
No.
or did it just bring it back to 1.3 level?
I don't even think it's where it was at 1.3. Shotguns used to be one of the most OP weapons out there, but in my opinion now they're still strong. Don't get me wrong. I still get killed by militia ones in 2 shots, which I don't understand. But
Yeah, I've got a shotgun scout alt, and I don't feel like it. I feel like it's still struggling quite a bit as a
Yeah.
weapon. Even though you're right, the bug got smashed, and they don't like miss shots anymore. I still feel it's kind of weak compared to where it used to be, and I think
Well, you
this is
gotta
part
be
of why.
right in the face though, in
Yeah,
order to do anything.
I feel like with the changes to scanning, they're really good. Because you can, if you fit your suits right, you can get up close and personal much easier.
but I think part of it too is that it's so much harder to get up close because you've got scanning, because you've got this awesome hit detection now that's just shredding people. Like,
You just need to
I
play
feel it-
smarter, though.
Yeah.
Hey man, go watch some of Moody's vids. He knows how to do work with those shotguns. Yeah, suit. And I've been running today. Like I was like, oh, I'll see what this is like. I'll see if because people were saying, oh, I can't speed tank things anymore. I can't just run through the enemy team and live because I have like 4 sprint mods or whatever. Like I've been putting some militia profile damps in like a basic light Minotaur suit, and I've just been killing proto people today, and it's fun. So
But is that because of the speed tanking, or do you think that's just because
no,
of the
it's not
profile?
nothing to do with
not
speed
seeing it?
tanking. It's just because
Oh,
I'm
okay.
actually invisible. Like I can just like stalk people. They
Because
have
I do
no
agree
idea.
that- I do agree that open sprinting across areas is just it's a lot more suicidal than it used to be. There's definitely less evasion that can be done in general.
Yeah, but
as a result
if
of
you
all of the aiming
know how to
changes.
like, if you're using a scanner yourself and you're seeing which way people are facing, as long as you know that they're facing away from you, you can get the drop on them every time. And you can't
Yeah.
get scanned because none of the scanners have enough vision to put you on their minimap. I don't know. Like I've been finding it fun. I mean, I don't know how it does in PC. Although, like my suit, I don't have any tank, and that's obviously something I can fix with a proto one. Even with like 200 health, I'm still killing people. I mean, if anybody like actually sees me, I'm dead. But
I think
Well-
the value of the active scanners, the one thing that's made the commando suit almost viable is that now I've got a lot better situational awareness in that suit, and I can, like you say, get the jump on people, flank them. If I see 6 guys coming around a corner, I know not to even bother. Like being able to have a little bit of vision, is kind of compensating for the fact that it's still made out of tissue paper.
Nice.
okay, so
So wait.
one last weapon type I wanted to get into: grenades. I know this is a bit of a. I'm actually Mavado isn't here, and I know what he would say. Lol grenades, but
Lol grenades. I'll say it for him.
Lol dust, right?
they seem to be. I fought against Outer Heaven like 2 weeks ago, I think it was, and all they did was throw grenades at us.
Yeah,
Wow.
grenades are insane. Especially Corlo's grenades will just blow you away if it's anywhere close to you. Just in PC matches, oh hey, gunfight. Just throw a grenade and I'm done.
I'm honestly in the camp of I think we need to consider going back to what they had early in beta, which was that your nano hives did not restock your grenades, and you just dealt with the 2 grenades that you get when you spawn, and they're not this thing that's everywhere at once. They're something you use very, very wisely because you only get 2. And
Well, I think I disagree with you. I think they should restock, but they should only restock it once, not like 5 billion times like they
The
do.
issue I have with that, and maybe they should just have a special kind of nanohive for it, is that I throw a nanohive down, someone throws 1 grenade, and now nobody gets any ammo.
Or that too, or make it a special.
well, yeah, they
nanohive
eat up
grenade.
resources, and I think it's more about the gameplay that they enable, which is that you can just park in a nano hive and lob grenades, and that alone, because grenades are so powerful, they're not meant to be launched as a regular weapon.
They're basically
stream.
like weaker orbital strikes. Like that's like if you have enough nanohives, that's all they become. They're like a weak orbital. It
Yeah.
works inside buildings.
Well, the maps are also there's a lot more interior fighting now on some of these new maps, so I think that's
Yeah,
part of
but-
it.
The new maps aren't in Planetary Conquest yet. It's annoying. Well, one of them is.
Yeah,
It's-
one of them is.
Like, who the hell has science labs? Most,
I do.
Almost everybody uses cargo hubs for everything.
See, I like the surface research ones once in a while for moving clones around, but I only like having a few cargo hubs. I mean, I rather have the production facilities. That's just me. But hey, guys, I appreciate you having me back on here. I hate to be the first one to leave all the time, but I got some stuff I got to take care of, so I got to dip out on you guys. It was great to be back, and hopefully,
Yeah,
Yeah,
good
nice,
having you
nice
back.
speaking with you again, Quickgloves. Been a while.
Yep, you too,
We'll be
Hans.
back every
JW.
week, so let me know if you want to come on again.
Yeah, always. Anytime you want to have me. JW, good job. You deserve it. Congrats. Pat on the back.
Thanks.
Hans, you're doing a good job with CPM. Keep it up.
Thank you.
And Blaze,
Yeah, that's what I thought. I knew it. Nothing.
No, crickets!
Crickets.
Nah, in
Oh.
honesty, Blaze, it's been nice fighting with you. I know when you went to TP, you helped us out a little bit in a couple fights, so thanks a lot, and maybe I'll see you tomorrow
Yeah.
morning. Gambit, take care, guys.
See ya.
Later, Dusties.
There. Okay, well, we should probably move on to the tournament stuff. Does anyone have any last thoughts on 1.4 before we move on?
Monkeys. Pie. There you go.
Alright, let's move on to the tournament then.
Uh-oh.
Damn, like, Quickgloves was the only person here who actually knew what was going on in Malden Heath, so no PC this week.
Well,
Apparently he's
I
been
know a
fighting a
couple
bunch.
things going on in team players. Like
Okay.
I know just recently
we'll get to that, we'll
actually
get to
took
that.
a district.
We'll do tournament
Alright,
first.
fine.
So, I guess congratulations are in order to JW and everybody in No Free Pass. I'm not sad at all that I didn't get to join you actually, because I really, really hated their website that much.
It was horrible.
Horrible. And apparently they're not happy with the Dust community.
They can go fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so horrible.
But it's done now, it's over, and it's gonna be ESL doing the next tournament. So,
It's gonna be even worse.
hey man.
Can we get people to actually do tournaments?
There's tournaments coming. Like, good tournaments that aren't gonna suck. I've heard all sorts of cool things that they're actually doing for them to fix problems.
Okay, the last time they said cool things, look what happened.
Well, I get to rename a planet. It's pretty cool.
Do you want to just talk about like how the tournament was? I mean, we'll get into the French drama in a little bit, but how did the finals go? First of all.
Well, we won all four. Well, 4 out of 7 pretty easily. In the last round we cloned them. And yeah, the rest of the battles were just a little bit one-sided, to be honest.
Did they field the full team?
Yeah.
I mean, Grupo did pretty well, has to be said, up until this point.
They gave us good fights. Everyone did, to be honest.
So, shall we just jump into the French drama?
Sure.
Okay.
I thought it was
I'm
two
glad
teams.
Hans is here because we're gonna talk about Kaz making a tit of himself.
Yeah.
So who wants to explain what happened with the French?
Hans, take it away.
I've seen what you guys have seen. Some angry forum posts. That's
Okay.
yeah.
Apparently, what the French used some players that weren't on their roster tourney team
Yep.
during the tourney match, which caused them to get disqualified. And I believe there was actually just two teams during that tournament that got taken out.
Yeah,
But
I like 501. No, it
Yeah.
was Deckard.
Yeah, but what the French was the only viable one that could actually be taken out that had to reset the bracket.
Oh no, the other guys made it to the semis, I think it was.
Yeah, but
So
they
they
ended
would
up
have been
losing.
third, fourth. Otherwise,
Yeah, they're disqualified of competing
We
for
lost
the third
Hans.
spot.
here he goes. Hopefully he'll be back. Keep going. But
What
yeah,
was
what
I
the French got disqualified. What you were saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Comes.
Hey, there he is.
Welcome
they were
back.
not
nice
happy
to see
about
you.
it.
Did you have a good trip, Hans?
I did. Thank you.
That's good.
So I did get for hitting backspace while in my browser. It's like, wait a minute, no, that was my call. All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
They got disqualified. Come on, you can get past this part. Even though I
Yeah,
really
but
like
they-
saying that, but
They got disqualified. That's
They
that's
got
all there is to
disqualified.
it.
They broke the rules.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
Yeah,
was
the rules
great.
are there for a reason.
Yeah.
Sucks.
and like getting mad about it afterwards and being like, you know, you guys were blah blah blah. It's like, no, the rules are rules.
That what
Yeah.
It should have been against the rules, like just to make a team for the tournament.
Their defense on the forums was they're in our corporation, so why can't we use them?
Yeah.
Because there are rules.
Yeah, but I know. I'm just saying, like that was
I
their
thought it was.
defense.
I found the whole situation hilarious, to be honest, because it was just like this indignant popcorn drama. When it's just like, come on, they're rules, and rules are rules are rules. You broke the rules, and then you got kicked out. You don't like get to get all bitchy about it, like.
And the funny thing is, like, it did give them an advantage because I was hearing other teams not bringing full 16 players to the matches. And I think No Free Pass only had 14 players against them. And they were complaining that they couldn't field a full team if
No,
they didn't break
I
the
think we were we filled up halfway through the first match.
But you still were 2 players down
But yeah,
for
I only
5
had
minutes.
18 guys in my team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you couldn't change that at all. Like, you guys respected those
And I
rules, as did everybody else.
Yeah. Like, I could have just gone to the Eon channel, hey, I need some people. I just did that, but no, there were rules.
Yeah, and saying we shouldn't obey these rules because we think they're dumb.
I
mean,
don't know. I don't know why they thought they could get away with it. Like, I'm just kind of
Well, they almost did.
dumbfounded.
They only got reported after they made it to the finals.
That'd be like saying that team players.
I was
would
not
use
even gonna
AEs,
submit a ticket.
Tourney team, because some of the AE tourney team players went to team players, and I'd be like saying, "Oh yeah, we can use their tourney team players just because they're in team players." But
I guess rule enforcement is one of those things that they decided to just leave up to the players too, right? along with keeping track of the matches and posting results.
To be fair, like, Logibro was doing most of the work.
Logic Bros.
No, I know he is. I'm more like face palming at the Urgent Fury side. Like, they wanted to do this tournament and they reached out to CCP to set this thing up, and then just the follow through wasn't there.
But yeah, I did not even bother to check if what the French had unregistered players after we lost to them. But then I saw someone from Rust 415 saying on the forums that what the French use unregistered players. I was like, maybe I should also check it. And I came across a couple of names that were not on the list. Submitted a ticket, and the rest is history. So thanks to Rust, NFB won.
so in essence, freaking Grupo or not Grupo, what the French would have gone unnoticed if
Yep.
if Rust hadn't have said anything.
You should name the planet Rust.
No. Well, I still don't know what to name it. Eon Prime and Sox 4 are one of the 2 favorites. But if you know any better names, suggest them on the forum.
Hey man,
Like, I got a
made a
thread up.
suggestion.
I know you
I think was it DS that suggested
The garbage dump.
QQ 4 or what QQ4 EVA or something like that.
I did not see
forever.
that one.
Yeah.
I actually really like Pluto, so Pluto will finally be a planet again.
Wow.
That one's
You're
pretty
gonna-
clever, actually. I like that one.
I think
Yeah, it's such
a lot of
originality.
users will
Well, and
laugh
it-
about that.
Well, you're like you're gonna troll a bunch of like lore nerds too that are gonna
Yeah.
like freak the fuck out about. Wait a minute, you can't reference Earth or I don't know what objections.
There
there
was
are.
some.
Or I could rename it to a Grand Theft Auto 5 spoiler, like Franklin kills Trevor.
Oh yeah. Grand Theft Auto 5 spoiler would be great. That's actually worked really well out in Nullsec. The was it Pandemic Legion went around and named all their sovereignty hubs or whatever. They named them after all these Game of Thrones spoilers.
Yeah,
And there was
Mavado saw one of them and was so fucking pissed.
yeah, and there was it literally worked as like a moat for a certain class of nerds that just would not go near that space because they didn't want to ruin for them, and it was like bug spray, like it acted as a deterrent,
Wow.
So
That's pretty clever, actually.
yeah.
When I actually, speaking of the Pluto thing, someone said when the tournament first started that they should name it Earth because that would fit with the lore.
What lore?
It doesn't make any sense at all. But again, it would piss off a bunch of people that do care about the lore.
What lore? I want somebody up to keep me up to date, please.
Some
It
fairy
has
tale or
nothing to do
something.
with the lore. Someone's just being a dumbass.
I don't care about the lore. I just shoot people in the face.
Yeah. Just name it Socks for. Yeah.
I really hope it
Well,
does get named
if
Sox 4.
If a planet gets named Sox 4, he would have to change his name, in my opinion.
Yep. Exactly.
How many likes is he at as well? I know there's the
It's a
whole
lot.
campaign.
That automated liking app is really
Let me check.
impressive. Like you can go and there's a thing. It's like an applet sort of thing that you can plug in. I don't know how that techie stuff works, but
It likes
it'll
all
go
of
through
his
and
posts.
it goes through and it'll scan. It'll have a little pop up and it'll literally go through and just it goes up to like 1,000 posts or something per person that does it.
No, it's every post he's ever made, so that's like a couple of thousand now.
Fox
Yeah.
4 has 118,000 likes.
Yeah.
Well, that's stopped then, because it was going up and up and up for a while. So I should explain for anybody who doesn't know, CCP Fox 4 said that he would rename himself Sox 4 if he got, was it 3 million likes? It was 3 million?
I thought it was just 1 million likes.
Oh, if it was 1 million
Maybe I'm
likes,
wrong.
then...
Maybe I'm wrong.
But yeah, go if you ever see Fox 4 post on the forums, like his post. People want to get him renamed to Fox 4.
Well, or just go and run that app that was it Colby?
Rock Duck? Or was it Colby?
Yeah.
Wait, why am I attacking?
So yeah. Guess that's does anyone know anything about the American sides? Blaze, are you playing the American side of the tournament?
No, I'm not in the tournament, but I do know that everybody has no-showed just about every match against team players. So
Yeah,
Okay.
there are a lot of no-shows everywhere.
we were actually wondering why Synergy no-showed up against us. Like they were looking forward to that fight, and just
Really?
Synergy
I
itself didn't show.
I think Vado and Cubs talked about it somewhere. They didn't want to bother or something. Because I think it was like one of the last matches of the round robin. And the
Yeah.
round robin was completely useless, at least for the European League.
It's actually gonna do something for the US one though. I don't know if I'm actually meant to say that out loud, but like Logibro has said I don't care what anybody thinks. I'm just it so that it does matter.
Yeah.
I don't mean to put anybody down in the American tournament, and this is just like for a one-sided opinion, but I think it's going to come down to Synergy, team players, and Ancient Exile to see who wins it.
R&D, don't forget about them.
Okay.
They are they're dirt.
No comment.
No Outer Heaven? Or is that just me?
I think Outer Heaven kind of died.
Really?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
took a
Outer
district off us yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, the last time I think they played against Synergy. At least in the tournament match, they only showed like 7 people, I think.
Or maybe their tournament team's dead then. Maybe like they got screwed by the roster.
Possibly.
Oh, actually, the one thing I was going to say on the roster thing is it's actually one of the rules that made sense. There's a lot of rules in that tournament. I mean, there's a lot of problems with the whole Prime tournament we went into last week. The roster rule was one of the only rules that was actually like, I would go, yeah, that's a good rule because made it a more level playing field. Like, if you had hundreds of members, you were a massive advantage over a group of 16 people. Capping it at 32 helped those smaller groups. So I can see why they would put it in. I do agree that it was a good rule. But yeah. I mean, that's all I had on the notes, aside from like PC talk. Hasn't been that much happening in PC on the Eon side of things, although we've mostly just been selling stuff. What I understand. Quickgloves before the show was telling us about all these amazing things Sever are doing, but sadly
Yeah,
he's no
he's
longer
still in
here.
war with Raffle. He said something about Ill Omens tried to go to war with them, just got slaughtered, and Nakia, I guess, apparently disbanded. I'm just going off of what he said. I'm not saying that that's confirmed, so
Well,
don't anybody quote me on it.
Nikia did give up his alliance that he was trying to create. And now his Corp Ill Omens went just casual, just pub stomping.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really heard much from PC. Like, we lost the district yesterday, which sucked. I think everybody's just mostly playing GTA 5 at the moment.
Yep.
Well, yeah, it's because it's the new up-and-coming game that's actually good. Sorry.
No, like, GTA 5 is a really good game. Like, nothing wrong with saying that.
Oh, but this is a Dust broadcast. I can't be saying that.
Oh, whatever.
Quickgloves is gone.
Yeah, I guess we should just wrap it up then. It's only been a 75-minute show, which...
Pretty short compared to normal.
Yeah, although when we do it weekly, it is shorter, because we get through everything. But yeah, hopefully next week... Oh, next week we're getting actual 1.5 stuff to talk about. They're giving us numbers and everything. At least that's what Logibro said, isn't it, Hans?
What you should have are, I mean, well, I don't know. Yeah, I guess there would be probably some 1. I think the 1.5 patch notes, as well as the list of the weapon stats and the vehicle changes. All of that stuff's supposed to be up in this coming week.
Yeah, I don't care about 1.5 anymore. It was like the last chance I gave CCP to make the vehicles right. That's the only reason why I stayed around. But now they pushed back the changes, so now I'm just gonna play Grand Theft Auto Online.
The changes for the most part are done. Like the design aspect of it, they've got all the numbers and stats that they want to change, and that's what they're gonna try to get posted this coming week. So it's more the technical side of things, getting it deployed, is being pushed back a month. But it's not like they ran into some snafu in the process of doing the vehicle changes themselves. It's more in the delivery of it. So they're definitely going to come in 1.6.
Just another month. I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
And there are more tankers that just said, you know what, fuck this. I'm gonna play other games.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
When's PlayStation 4 again? Just out of curiosity.
The 15th of November, I think, and the 29th of November for Europe.
So we're getting 1.6 before then, hopefully.
Yeah. It doesn't mean that's not going to take a toll of some kind or another. I mean, I think everyone should just be prepared for that. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to 1.5 and 1.6. Finally getting the rail rifle and combat rifle.
I'm looking forward to good gameplay. 2016, maybe.
Did you read somewhere that those were going to be the two that were released?
They're the ones that are on the Eve market.
Ah, clever.
Or on CC. And there's another one. Oh, Ion Pistol? I think.
Alright.
We'll see. But yeah,
You
thanks
got a
everyone.
keen eye.
Oh, should we do shoutouts and stuff then?
Oh, my shoutout's gonna be a very long one.
Oh, you go first then.
Well, shout out to all No Free Pass members. I got 18 of them in total. Most of them from Synergy Gaming and Red Star. You got me, Revolts, Heavy Brakes, Coved Clay, Nitro, Heavenly Daughter, Rhapsody, Obeki, a Sci-Fi, basically my clone. He loves to fucking do my accent. And then G-Disciple, Lords, Absolute, Purist, Lazy, and then Delta Iden, the scrub, the one Eon, non-Eon guy in the team. He got in through Gimbal. And Chrysimtimo, Rebel Rhino, and Tsar Pizza. And that's about it.
Hey man, Delta did a good job.
For a non-Eon member, he was pretty decent. Nah, he's a good player. You can join Synergy if you want.
He's also the guy who's going to be doing the tournaments.
Yeah, I got a little bit more faith in him than Urgent Fury.
Hands, shoutouts.
I'll give a shout out to my courtmates in Delta Force and my Logi bro Thurman Merman, and my squad mates Perpsicle Lamar, and my tax squad leader Lady Arsenic. Love you guys.
Blaze.
I don't know. I kind of strayed away from Dust, so I don't know who to shout out. I guess team players and my buddy Zero and Sergeant Novastar. That's it.
I want to give a shout out to a EVE player called Glasgow Dunlop. He runs the Glasgow EVE Online meetups. The next one is on October 4th, so if anybody is in Scotland or Glasgow and wants to come get a drink and talk about Dust and EVE, then there's a thread on, I think it's the locker room.
There's also one in Amsterdam this year. I think the 12th of October.
You gonna
You'll
go?
probably run into my podcaster friends.
I'm probably gonna
Xander there.
go, but it's gonna be very awkward there since I think so far I'm the only duster going, and I don't know shit about Eve.
What, to FanFest?
No, at Amsterdam. Just a meetup.
Yeah, not
I'm
going.
just gonna walk around like, hey, I renamed the planet.
Dude, that is something that nobody there will be able
Yeah.
to say they could do.
Dude,
So that's
I'm most likely
that could
going
literally
to
be your
FanFest
like.
now, since I can rename a planet. Just gonna walk around, big shirt. I renamed the planet.
That you literally should make. That should be like your icebreaker, and people will instantly like you'll have instant street cred. No, I would exploit that fully. That's
I
pretty
will.
big bragging rights.
I was gonna say though, you should put a thread on locker room and get some Dust players down there.
I already made a thread and it just disappeared.
Oh, well,
I'll have to bump it.
yeah, bump it. Like, everybody who's watching this, go in the locker room. If you're in the Netherlands, go hang out with JW. Buy him a victory drink.
I don't think they'll make people come out.
Are they hosting this event at one of your city's famous coffee shops?
No.
No.
Coffee, huh?
Yeah.
I'm sure you could get some stuff over there.
Okay, we'll leave it on that then. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll be back next week. This should actually be going up much faster because my internet's actually fast here compared to before. So,
Woohoo!
and I'll hopefully have more news on that CPM show that I was meant to be doing.
The what?
Hands.
Who?
Me. I was gonna do a show with you and Kane at Nova.
No one's gonna want to listen to those people.
No one's gonna want to listen to you. You mean?
Ooh.
I-
Kane,
That was the joke.
Kane isn't
That
gonna
was the
show
joke.
up.
I'm
That's
glad
what's
you
gonna
saw that.
happen. Remember how Kane was gonna show up today?
Just like last week?
And the show before? I don't know what's up with him.
Nah, to be quite honest though, out of all the CPMs, I think Hans, you're the only one who's ever responded to me besides Kane.
Aw.
Aw, how sweet!
Okay, let's end it here.
Happy I could be of use or entertainment, one of the two.
Alright, thanks for watching
I'd say-
everybody, and we'll see you next week.
Give
Shit.
okay.
Later.
Down with Eon.